Hello Tubesters, it's me Gav and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at some Prussian Landwehr from the Napoleonic period. These are from the 3rd Regiment and from East Prussia. The yellow epaulets, red banding, red piping. I've given them a mixture of some linen, white linen, and some of the usual grey that they'd normally be wearing, but obviously there was a lack of proper equipment. They bled the country dry really in all the wars, and the Landwehr obviously suffered from lack of supplies. So they'd often have these white linen backpacks. I mean, you could say it's a British backpack from the early period, but I've gone for a white linen one. This regiment had black leather accoutrements, belts in other words. Try to be fancy there, Gav. There's a mixture here of what I would appear to be French muskets, and you can use British or Austrian as well. So you've got the band in there, put it as French. I've got dirt over. I've never dirtied up 18mm figures, and I'm still not 100% whether it really works. But I've given a bit of light coating to the very base. You can't really see it very well under the lights, but it's there. I always think I prefer them clean, to be honest with you, but this did lend itself to the subject really. You can just see these Landwehr splattering across the roads of East Prussia, through all the mud. Again, if you want it on something like this, if you've got the same poses, just change obviously your facial hair. If you can change something. Now these patches I've put on, they're way too bright, so I will dull those down with a paint wash, because they're too bright. But the problem is I was having them when I was making them too dark. They were almost looking like my attempt at highlights. So yeah, it just needs a bit of work done to that. These are I've used these as British muskets. This guy here that's supposed to be a calfskin backpack, but I painted it white because I wanted again to change the pose very slightly. You don't have to do conversions. Sometimes you can get away with just a paint. Now these were particularly rough castings. I wasn't happy with them at all. Faces are half missing on this particular sculpt, or pose I should say. The actual sculpts are fantastic, but the castings really bad. I've had to do tons of chobbling out with a Dremel, so a power drill, because a pin vise wouldn't touch it, a scalpel wouldn't touch it, and it took 4.5 hours to clean up 36 figures, I believe. I've given this guy a French backpack, so he's got a bit different colour there. Again, all it is trying to break up the look of the same pose, if that makes sense. So this guy's actually got a grey one from one of the other regiments. I'm going to chuck a couple into the maybe 3 maybe. Again, just to break the look of everything. They've got clogs on, some of them. So the actual sculpting's fantastic, but this has got all that pitting. I mean, look at all the pitting on this. You couldn't, I did think of trying to get some steel wire wool in there and clean it up and buff it up, but it just, yeah, I'm not happy, to be honest with you, with these. They detract from the paintwork, and that's don't mean that big-headedness, but what I'm saying is you're putting a lot of work in. Premium figures, they should be better than that. Again, these patches are going to have to be dulled down. Just notice the white fleck. Isn't great whenever you... Oh, it's gone. I thought it was a bit of white off the white paintwork. So again, you've got the black leather on this for this particular regiment. Again, more mud splattered around. And so I'm not 100% if the mud works. I've put mainly brown slings for these, and a couple, and I'm throwing in a couple of black musket slings every so often, just to show a difference. Painted the little white crosses. They did have some metal crosses as well. This one's got Prussian backpack, so it's just the brown calfskin. painting the bottom of the soles. I always do that with whatever particular colour at hand, really. Just shows the base of the sole rather than mud, really. Again, some more patches, just to show a really, you know, beat up unit, really. Again, I've got a couple more poses that are still in the. I literally just hoik out 8 figures, paint them. I don't separate them into poses or anything. I like the randomness of just putting your hands on them, which gives you a more, in my opinion, a more random look to them when you actually put them on your bases. And then we've got the last figure here. Now I've put the white stripes around, as you can see, the white piping. Could do with actually a stronger white on there, probably, looking at it through the camera. And then through the around the base of the, and up to, it doesn't go around the top piping of the collar, it just goes around the base and up the front. But because the front's hidden with all the beard and everything around, it's hard to see. And that shows that he's a volunteer. And they were almost, because they were volunteers, they were seen as a better class of soldier. And they were often given junior NCO duties. So again, there'll be a few of these. I'll be doing some NCOs as well, but we've got our volunteer there. Somebody should have told him never volunteer, although most of us have done at some stage. Also, a lot of us have done at some stage. Yeah, loved it. As I say, sculpting by Tony Barton's absolutely fantastic. The casting was fairly diabolical. As I say, it looks like they're worn out moulds. But there's a lot of variety in the poses. You know, you've got clogs, you've got bare feet, which you haven't seen on. So I've got others with bare feet to come. You've got, you know, a variety of equipment. So if you can get past the cleaning, then they're lovely figures. You know, you can't get past some of the pitting, like on this one in the actual cast itself. That's you just can't do a great deal with that unless you're going to spend hours buffing them up. But thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. I've got 30 odd in this unit to do. I doubt I'll be showing you. I might show you one more, you know, with another 8 if there's a variety of poses that I've not shown. Otherwise, I'll wait till I've done the complete unit. So guys, you take care of yourselves. I hope everything's going well with you and what your projects are, whether they're painting figures or making scale models. You take care of yourselves. We'll catch each other very soon on another video. Cheers.